Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast and this week's free episode. If you're interested in bonus episodes, behind the scenes, bloopers, and more, check out patreon.com/basementboyspodcast, where most of that content is available for just $2 a month. Regardless, we appreciate all your support and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Hi.
Are
you okay, buddy?
Okay. What an intro.
What a day.
What a day. So it's been 2 weeks since we've done this. We have a lot of catching up to do. In the last episode, we made updates to the Patreon. In this episode, we're making updates to the podcast, which is why we haven't really recorded the podcast in a while. So we're changing things up. We're lessening the amount of content, sadly. Apologetically. All right? I'm very sorry. Zach's not, but I'm sorry.
I feel nothing
And it's because we don't have a lot of time anymore. Not as much time as we used to over the summer. And we have to relegate our effort responsibly. So the podcast is going from every week to 3 weeks a month. And that's primarily because, one, a lot of the podcasts I listen to only upload 3 weeks a month. So I didn't fully understand why we, a small podcast with like 20-something subscribers, were uploading more than that. And two, to harp on the latter end of that point, we only have 20-something subscribers, so we really shouldn't be putting all of our time and effort into this podcast when there are other things we could be doing, like work, school. Also, both of our Twitch accounts have more following than this podcast. And the amount we were doing this podcast when we first started, aka 2 episodes a week, was way more than we needed. Like, I think I put it into perspective a couple episodes ago, but like, one podcast takes an hour to record, then I watch over the whole thing and edit it, try to edit out little mistakes or edit the audio slightly, so that's an hour of editing, and then it takes about an hour to render, which, while I can go do other things while rendering, my computer is basically stuck in that render. I don't have a good enough computer to render something and, say, play a video game at the same time. I can't. If I'm rendering a video, that's all my computer can do, and that's all my computer can handle. So ultimately, that's 3 hours of our time, of my time, spent on a podcast. And we were doing 2 a week. So that's 6 hours a week on a podcast with only 20 subscribers. And we could easily be dedicating some of that time elsewhere, like our own Twitch streams. Again, it's not that we don't care about the podcast, but I rarely stream 6 hours a day, yet in the past I was dedicating 6 hours a day to the podcast, which is fine if the podcast is more popular than my stream, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Same with you. Your stream's more popular than this podcast. Somehow. Your
my non-existent stream.
So that's how I'm trying to frame it. I'm trying to be as nice yet honest about it as possible. I know it sounds kind of douchey to be like, well, if the podcast gets more support, we'll do more podcasts. But truly, like, it's just how life works. If this podcast was financially helping us out, I'd make it a job and I'd give it enough time that I would a job. But because it's not, I can't do that. That's all. My time is very low nowadays. I feel like I never have enough time for anything I want to do. So cutting the podcast down from 6 hours of my life every week to 3 hours, 3 weeks out of the month is a lot more manageable for me. And I can use the other time to do other things like stream or do schoolwork or make money. Cry. The important things in life. So yeah, that's all. We apologize, and we have already talked about this change on the Patreon. We let our Patreon supporters know ahead of time what was going on with the podcast, and we apologize on Patreon as well, because obviously any change in content that lessens the amount of content you get can be seen as a negative thing. So while it's going to be for the better of our mental health doing this change, it's also could be seen as a bummer for people. And we apologize. Like I said, And I mean this in the nicest way. If this podcast starts popping off, we're going to do more episodes because then we'll have the time and financial stability to do more episodes. It's the main reason why, like, we haven't purchased any upgrades for the podcast. We saved up...
In fact, we've downgraded.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. We saved up money for, lighting and soundproofing and stuff like that when we started the podcast, but we haven't been able to upgrade the podcast because we haven't made any money. So it's a work in progress. This podcast will almost always be a thing, even if we kill it off and go down to, say, 1 episode a month. We'll still try to do these podcasts as long as we can, regardless of how much support we get. The point I'm trying to make is we won't do this podcast as a job until it becomes a job. And therefore we can't dedicate
Job-like hours to it.
Yeah. I feel like I'm rambling now. I apologize. We also are in a different set. That probably should have been the first thing we talked about. We're still in the base.
Hey, I know you noticed that we're somewhere else, but first, here's everything else.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing, but we're going to make it the last introduction topic. We're in a different spot. We're still in a basement, alright? We're still staying true to the name, but we're in a different part of the basement because our set is currently falling apart. Literally. If you paid attention...
The soundproofing foam is all on a shelf over there.
It's bad.
It's very bad.
If you paid enough attention in last episode, the soundproofing was falling off actively during that hour.
Yep.
Where just pieces were coming down. And we're trying to find a solution for it. The problem is, our apartment doesn't allow us to, glue things to the wall, obviously. So we're trying to circumvent the rules in our lease with duct tape. And the duct tape is no longer holding up the soundproofing as well as we like.
And I'd love to redo the entire wall, but I also would rather find a way that we can just make I think we should try for what we were gonna do originally, which is we were gonna have fold-in walls like the Gus and Eddie podcast has.
Yeah, and that'd be really cool.
I think we should just fucking make them.
Yeah, we should. You should also turn your ringer off, bro.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Bro, I swear, it's been a constant meme on the Patreon podcast, at least, where your phone always goes off. And now you're bringing that over to the free episodes as well.
I don't know what to tell you.
But that's a good idea. We also talked about, because we can't glue the soundproofing onto the actual apartment wall, we talked about getting drywall. Or no, what am I saying? Not drywall. Though that would work, it'd just be a lot more inconvenient. We talked about getting really thin, plywood, just a big piece of it that almost acts as a wall, gluing the soundproofing to that plywood, and then leaning it against the wall. Because that would also kind of work. It'd be real scuffed.
Oh yeah,
but it would work. It would work.
Honestly, at this point, I'm thinking we should just buy the plywood and buy shit to make it actually stable and over time build a set from scratch.
Yeah. I mean, our original idea for a set worked and it's still good, but it's got a lot of problems and it's falling apart now. So we need to improve it the best way we can with no money.
Yep.
Basically.
Which is to flip the set around.
That's what we're doing for now.
The camera's still in the same place, but everything else is on the other side of it.
The camera isn't even the same, though. That's
different camera.
Yeah, if you want to talk about that downgrade as well.
It's not... It is, but it isn't. So I fucking took the tripod apart to try to use it as a mount for my webcam on my computer, and it didn't work as well as just using it. But while I was doing that, I stepped on the clamp that holds my phone as the camera. The phone used to be our camera. Now it's a webcam with hella fisheye to it.
Yeah, so alongside your comment earlier about the podcast kind of downgrading over time, our set's falling apart, our tripod is broke, and...
Pretty sure the camera's also tilted right now, but I don't know how I would go about fixing it.
I'll fix it in post.
I'll fix it.
So now...
Just rotate the whole thing 90 degrees.
Now that our tripod is broke, we're using Zach's Stream face cam as our temporary podcast camera. There's a lot of problems. A lot of problems and not a lot of money to fix them. But that's okay. We're still doing the best we can. And that's what matters. That's what matters, baby. Is there anything else we're missing? Any other changes? Things we haven't updated people about since the last episode?
Not that I can think of.
You dyed your hair.
I did dye my hair.
You dyed your hair.
I dyed my hair for paintball.
Yeah. So, do you want to explain that story? Because I still don't understand why at all.
So basically, I play paintball with a group of coworkers every week to every other week.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, more often than not, I would say, on the weekends. But we recently came across issues where some of the people in the group have started doing dumb shit to kind of screw over other people in the group.
Okay.
Like, for instance, one of the guys in our group will be like, oh, I'm interested in this gun, and the next week one of the other guys will have bought that gun.
So basically, he's just
copying shit.
Those are the worst people, man.
Yeah. And fucking...
Like, have an original thought.
And he's like, he's very annoying about a lot of the things that he does. So we essentially wrote down and have a document to sign, a set of rules.
Okay.
That everyone has to follow, or there will be punishments.
Okay.
And the punishments range anywhere from like, oh, you gotta buy us lunch, to you can never come out again with us.
So you made basically a rule book for your paintball group.
Yes.
How does that relate to dyeing your hair, though?
Oh,
I'm still confused.
So in addition to signing these rules, what the fuck? Nice. In addition to signing these rules, we also have like a handshake, I guess, that is dyeing our hair.
Okay, so like the almost blood oath that you all agree to these rules is you all dyed your hair.
Yep. One guy dyed it red, one guy's dyeing it blue this weekend.
Okay. Yours, it was supposed to be purple, right? I feel like it's already faded to pink.
It's more like a fuchsia.
Okay.
But
well,
I would argue, but I'd be wrong.
I want you to never say the word fuchsia to me again. First off, it's fading to pink, but you were supposed to be purple. Or were there any other colors? Because I thought your group was a lot of people.
Orange, red, green, and pink.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a pretty big group.
Not orange, blue.
It's really dope. I mean, hey, you're giving opposing players a really nice target. Just
they already
shoot you right in the noggin.
Also, real shit. My mask is a really good target.
Oh, really?
Because the fucking the eyes of it are reflective, and then on the borders are like purple, like trim, like bright purple trim.
No, I mean, I still think paintball would be something so cool and something I would be so into if the people who played it weren't terrible. It's kind of like how I feel about D&D, because like I would be really, really into D&D. And I've watched some really cool D&D groups on YouTube. The obvious answer being like I've seen Critical Role. Everyone who knows D&D.
What's that?
Everyone who knows D&D has seen Critical Role. But my problem with it truly is that the people who are a part of Critical Role or any popular YouTube group are cool people.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the people who play D&D, say on my university campus, for example, are neckbeards that haven't showered since September 11th. Like, as if it's some kind of, I don't know, statement. It's a statement. Never forget. Never shower. Hand in hand. Like,
the only day of the year you're allowed to shower is September 11th.
The people in my, near circle. What's the word? I can't think of that word. The people in my something circle.
Inner?
No, that sounds like a cult, bro. In my direct circle. I don't know. I can't think of words right now. I'm real out of it, bro. Last night, I was going crazy on stream, and that mentality of just being loopy has kind of carried over into today. The people in my direct circle that I deal with on a day-to-day basis that play D&D are kind of disgusting. Okay. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful to everyone that plays D&D. It's just my experience, okay? The leader of the D&D group on campus smells like a fucking landfill. it's a bad situation. So
It's, it's bad when we're roasting everyone involved. But I had fun, and I'd do it again if I could ever get a group of people to do it with me.
yeah, my one
But
D&D experience.
my also problem would be that I wouldn't want someone who smells like a garbage fire.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we got a group of people that we knew and like enjoy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's seemingly hard to find that
Yeah.
in the real world.
I mean, it's seemingly hard to find people we like and enjoy
yeah,
in the real world.
it's hard to find people.
Let alone people we like and enjoy that are also down for D&D.
It's a problem. It's just a bummer because, like I said, just to simplify the point, the people who play D&D online are really cool, and I'm convinced none of those people exist in rural Pennsylvania. So it's a shame. My one experience with D&D was fun, and I got to play it with, a group that wasn't the worst. It helped that I was the only guy in the group, so the girls all definitely shower. That's usually something that they do. So they were all nice and respectable. However, it was only a 2-hour session, and we only did it once. And it kind of bums me out because I would have loved to do it again. And every time we tried to plan a second session, I was always down. This was years ago, mind you. But I was always down, and I never said I was busy, never had any problems with scheduling. But everyone else would have problems here or there. And it just never happened. And like you suggested, I would think very highly. And I'd be almost 100% down to do a D&D group with people we enjoy and people we like. It's just a matter of finding enough of those people. Because even some of our own friends, man, are kind of the worst. Anthony, who's been our only guest on the podcast.
Oh my god. No, Ross has been a guest.
On the Patreon.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
Anthony, our
Sorry,
only...
you differentiate, I do not.
Anthony, our only guest on the podcast, really makes me mad sometimes. And I know he watches these. I love you, Anthony. But, like, you are my brother. One of my best friends. And I'd invite Anthony to our D&D group.
Oh, yeah.
My concern is he'd make way too many sexual jokes. And also, I'd be concerned as to whether or not he'd actually show up. Because I've been trying to hang out with you, Anthony.
In person, here at the place, both of us have.
I've broken my morals. I haven't really hung out with anyone since COVID. And I was willing to break my morals 2 times for Anthony, and both times he blew me off.
Oh yeah, I invited him out to paintball, and he's like, yeah, definitely I'll be there. And then he's like, oh, no, there's a wedding today or some shit.
So again, to all the viewers watching this and to Anthony watching this, I love you, bud. I want everyone to know that. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I want you to be a part of the D&D group. But please don't say anything that would get us banned online. Don't get us canceled. And show up.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like
Those are the only things.
Our friend group is great, but actually getting them to show up and actually getting a group together seems almost impossible, especially during COVID, and mostly during COVID. A year or 2 ago, we probably could have made a D&D group, but now, that doesn't feel possible at all. It doesn't feel like there's a chance.
Honestly, I think it's funny as shit, too, because Ross and I both have said that, like, we'd be down to DM, we just want player experience first.
Mm-hmm.
And neither of us really have that.
Yeah.
And don't really have a way to get that properly.
I don't know. I don't know. We could probably make it happen in the future in a non-pandemic environment. But we'll see. There was something else I wanted to talk about that we brought up in the intro, but I'm blanking. Oh, yeah, you're sick?
Oh, yeah.
And it's the funniest thing. I gotta be honest.
What do you mean? Fuck you.
So, for those of you who don't know the story, I'm going to tell you the story. All right, sit down, listen up. You're going to hear a great tale. Our roommate Brian got sick. He has a cold. Don't worry, it's not corona. I wouldn't be sitting next.
Not.
I wouldn't be sitting next to you if you had the rona. Our roommate Brian had like a pretty bad cold with a mild headache, and there are 3 other roommates living in this apartment. Harrison, our roommate that has never even like been on the podcast. Brian's been on the podcast for brief moments when he just jumps in.
Yeah.
But Harrison's never been on the podcast. Zach and me. So those are the 3 roommates that Brian had the opportunity to get sick. Zach and Harrison got sick, but not me, baby. I'm clean. My immune system, too good. All right? Zach's immune system, sad. My immune system, the best. I only get sick about once a year, if that. Haven't thrown up since 8th grade. And I don't even like counting that. I do count it on record, all right? It's official. I threw up in 8th grade, but I threw up because of my Lyme disease medicine that I was taking. I haven't thrown up legitimately since 6th grade because the side effects of that medicine was vomiting. But it's been since 8th grade. 8th grade, I'm trying to do the math. I'm, like I said, really loopy, so mental math is not my strong suit right now. 8th grade would have been about 13, 14 years old, depending on the month of the year.
It's been like 8 years.
So it's been 8 years, since I've thrown up. And I'm trying to keep that streak
That's wild
strong.
to think about.
I'm trying to keep that streak going. I don't know how to explain it, because whenever I explain it to like my girlfriend or, friends, it sounds dumb. But like, I just hate throwing up. I find it disgusting. And it's just the worst. So I choose not to. Like,
I choose not to.
That's the best way to describe it. Whenever I feel like I'm going to throw up, or I get, sick to my stomach, which does happen every once in a while. It's not like I don't get sick. I just choose not to throw up. Which kind of sucks because, I
You're
remember...
just like scolding yourself in the mirror. No! Don't do it to yourself!
I remember back when I was a wee child, because again, it's been forever.
Little tiny boy.
Since I was a young boy, that when I would throw up, you feel so much better afterwards. So it kind of sucks that I don't throw up, but I just hate the act of throwing up. So I don't do it. And that's the simplest way, and really the only way I can describe it is just I don't allow myself to throw up. I can't teach you these things. You just have to be better. But yeah, you're all sick. I've been chilling. I'm surprised you're not better
Brian's
yet.
pretty much over it, right?
Brian's fully over
Brian
it.
got over it in like 3 days. I think Harrison is already over it.
Harrison's fully healthy again. You're the only one still sick.
Yeah.
What's wrong, bud? What are you doing?
I mean, probably because I haven't fucking rested ever.
That's true. You don't sleep a lot. Not enough, at least.
No, yeah. I would make the argument that I have to do the most, like, moving around for my job.
Oh. Big guy's got legs, huh?
And have, like, the longest hours for my job, though the least amount of days.
Fair. I've been pretty sedimentary. That's how you say that, right?
Sure thing.
Do you know how to say that, actually? I don't. I told you, I literally...
Don't know words, I know.
Well, I don't... Not that I don't know words. I don't know where I am right now, bro.
I can't think of a good replacement for it, so it should be right.
I'm super loopy. I've been very sedimentary. I feel like I'm just saying it with weird tone, like a weird cadence. Are you looking it up?
Yeah. I just want to...
Just play it out loud.
Well, I could.
You can play it out loud.
Okay. I mean, this is...
Yeah. Just hit the button.
This is geology.
Sedimentary.
Okay, I kind of said it right. That lady said it super sensual. Honestly, I did not like that. I did not like the way that made me feel tingly. I haven't been moving a lot since the virus started, since quarantine started, because
sedentary. Sedentary is the word you're looking for.
What does sedimentary mean?
Sedimentary is a type of rock.
Dude, I'm a fucking rock. Let's go.
Sedentary.
I'm gonna edit this tomorrow, and I'm not gonna remember anything I said. That's how, like, out of it I feel. I'm not in my own head. I'm super loopy. Part of the reason I probably do feel so out of it right now, the reason I'm, like, lightheaded almost, it feels like there's nothing up here. Part of that...
That's because there isn't.
Might be because I was starting to get some of my energy back. Like I said, last night, I was even more loopy than I am right now. I was way out of it. Then I woke up this morning, I was starting to get energy back, and then I decided to eat roughly 12 pounds of pasta. So now I feel super loopy again, really groggy, and just slow. But I'm in a good mood. I'm truthfully in a good mood because if those of you who are watching this podcast and aren't subscribed to our individual YouTube channels, please do that. Please. I need help. I need support. All right? My own family.
Need your love.
My own family doesn't watch my YouTube videos. All right? That's something I noticed, by the way. One of my family members will post that stereotypical Facebook story where it's those artsy backgrounds with different colors and designs.
Yep.
And they'll post just went shopping today, #mom things. Cringy boomer stuff you'd see on Facebook. And it'll get 67 likes. Because my family is just super supportive of that kind of stuff, I guess. But I post a YouTube video, or not even a YouTube video, because I understand gaming might not be very relatable to my family. But I'll post really cool roller coaster footage, B-roll footage.
Yeah.
Where we're getting a nice shot of the loop and corkscrew of a roller coaster. And that'll get 8 likes on Facebook. I said this before in a Patreon episode, and I was way more upset and serious about it. I don't want to come off as either of those two things right now. I want to be very lighthearted. But my family just doesn't support a lot of the things I do. So, if you're watching this, please subscribe to our individual channels. And if you are...
I'm literally shaking and crying and begging.
If you are subscribed to me, you saw my video I put out 2 days ago about Valorant. And your boy is a free man. I'm done. I don't have to play Valorant again if I don't want to. Finish my Battle Pass. I'm not buying another Battle Pass. I'm done with that game. That game was easily the most toxic source in my entire life.
Yeah, we only play Among Us now.
Oh, that's probably not much better as far as toxicity goes, but Valorant was definitely the most toxic thing in my life, and I'm done with it. And I feel so free. I can play different games. I can be happy when I play a video game, which is what you're supposed to be.
I don't know about that.
That's how video games are supposed to make you feel. And Valorant made me feel the opposite of happy. The polar opposite. So, yeah, it's kind of a bummer that game is so bad, but I don't care, because I'm done. I'm done with it. That's all that matters. Anyways, what have you been up to gaming-wise, Zach? We have played games together one time in the last... Well, 2 times now, because you did play with me the other night for a little bit. It was an hour. I forgot you got on. Yeah, you got on for a little bit. So we've played games 2 times in the last 3 weeks. What have you been doing? Why are you not online?
Lots of work and sleep.
I noticed that. But I thought, you said in a previous episode your work schedule is going down to 3 days a week.
No, it's 3 or 4 days a week, and it's
Okay.
going to stick at 4.
Well, what do you do in the other days of the week?
Mostly cry and worry.
Well, we should play games. What games would you want to play? Because I want to play games.
High Key, Among Us, Warframe, Laser Tent. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, I think it'd be really fun to play laser tag on our street, though.
Bowser's a crazy guy.
A little bit. He's doing good now.
He's so tired.
Once we finally got him to calm down,
He's been kind of wild. I've probably edited out so much of this podcast because he'll just jump up on the couch and tackle us. So, are there any games you want to, any new stuff? I want to try out Genshin for sure.
So I'm down to try out Genshin. I'm really hyped for this weekend's Black Ops.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would love to play games.
What's the official name for that Call of Duty?
Cold War. Black Ops Cold War.
Okay. That could be fun.
Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War.
Of course. Makes sense. It's simple. It's a simple
Black
thing.
Ops 5, even. Oh, no, wait. Would this be Black Ops?
I don't know, man.
This would be Black Ops with 5 vertical lines because they don't know how to do Roman numerals.
So, we're going to be playing that this weekend. And I'm looking forward to it. I probably will hate it because Call of Duty is the epitome of everything I like in a shooter game, which is slow-paced, methodical, strategy-based shooting. Meanwhile, Call of Duty is just
the opposite.
Run and gun, chicken with your head cut off type gameplay. and I don't like that. But I'm gonna try my best. I'm looking forward to it mostly because we're playing with our roommates.
Yep.
And it'll be the first time I ever do a stream with all 4 of the roommates together.
Yes.
So that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that at least.
Very hype.
Very hype.
Out of Skype.
You sound really hype.
I can't sound
I
hype.
know, you're sick. You're sick. Whatever.
I'm not allowed. God came to me. He said, Zach, no more hype. I said, no.
Okay. Okay. So, what else? I'm trying to think of another thing I'm going to talk about this podcast is content. I just want to talk about content because I'm finally making a ton of content again. I wasn't in the last month because I spent all my free time playing Valorant. I ran about this in my YouTube video, so I'm not going to get too much into it. But for a good portion of my life lately, I've just been playing Valorant to try to finish the Battle Pass. And it hasn't given me much free time otherwise. So I've been trying to do more live streams, I'm uploading to YouTube more. And I'm really excited because I just have really dumb, yet just funny stream ideas and YouTube ideas. They're super niche as well. Like, only I will probably enjoy them. The one that... the one that makes me the most happy is I want to beat Madden 10, which came out...
I want that stream to happen.
Came out in 2009. I'm going to beat Madden 10 with one play. I'm going to run the same play on offense for an entire season of football, and I'm going to run the same play on defense for an entire season of football. I'm going to beat all of Madden 10 with just one play. Technically 2 because offense and defense, but that doesn't sound as good. That's not like a good YouTube title right there.
Yeah.
If I title the YouTube video beating Madden 10 with 2 plays, I guarantee you it gets half the clicks.
Yeah.
Maybe not even, maybe like 25% of the clicks. But if I title the YouTube video beating Madden 10 with one play, that's a little bit more clickable. And technically it's true. One play on offense, one play on defense. I'm really excited for that. I did the math lately because I had to plan this stream out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do the stream next week. So if you're watching this the day it gets uploaded, or at least a couple days since it was uploaded, you have time still to watch the stream because I know it's super exciting. I was planning it out, and I played a couple games testing out the time. I first played a game of Madden 10 with 10-minute quarters. Way too long. Way too long. I then played Madden 10 with 5-minute quarters, and that would roughly make a stream of that size 8 to 9 hours. It would take me 8 to 9 hours to beat Madden 10. So I then shortened it to 3-minute quarters. So in total 12-minute games, and that would make the stream 6 hours, give or take, maybe 7, which is more manageable. Are
you gonna have a Manny McBaseball-esque character?
No, I don't think I'm gonna do another Persona like I did with Mario Super Sluggers, because that was like official, and it was a long-running series. Since it's gonna be one stream, one YouTube video, but maybe I'll consider making another Persona for that video. But if I do 3-minute quarters and 12-minute football games, I can beat Madden 10 in 6 to 7 hours, which is manageable for a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
I would have considered going down to 2-minute quarters, which would shorten the stream time even further, but then the game starts to break because I don't know how much you know about football, but the 2-minute warning is a thing in the second and fourth quarter. So the 2-minute warning happens when there's 2 minutes left in the second quarter, as a warning for halftime, if you will, and in the fourth quarter as a warning for the end of the game. It's basically a timeout, yada yada yada. However, in Madden 10, if the quarters are 2 minutes, the 2-minute warning is the same time as the start of the quarter, and it doesn't glitch out the game, but it glitches out the AI of the opposing team a little bit.
Good. They deserve their AI.
So I can't do 2-minute quarters. I have to do at least 3-minute quarters so that there's a minute of buffer time, and then you hit the 2-minute warning. I'm just excited to beat Madden 10 with one play.
Yep.
I'm excited to spend 7 hours of my life running the same pass play over and over and over and over again. And, of course, using cover 2 defense, because what else would I do? What else would I do on defense? You know, Zach? Sports.
Yeah.
Sports. You know what cover 2 means, right?
No.
I'm just trying to throw ideas out there that would be more clickable. because while I don't want to become a clickbait YouTuber, and I don't want you to become a clickbait YouTuber, you do have to think a little bit about what people want to see on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to do more. In the past, I made content just for me, like stuff I wanted to watch, but like no one else wanted to watch. And in a way, I'm still doing that. But I'm trying to become more relatable, I guess. I don't know, it sounds cringy, but hopefully it'll be beneficial for my channel in the future. I don't know. That's a good idea. You also will have your first bonus video going up on the Patreon. I'm editing that right now for you.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what? I don't know about this.
For those of you who don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know. We've ranted about it too much, honestly. Our Patreon is becoming way more individualistic, where we're obviously doing Basement Boys content. Did you just give him the sock?
Yeah.
All right, well.
It's one of my old ones. I don't want anymore.
He can eat the sock. We're obviously doing Basement Boys content on the Patreon, but we're also now doing a ton of individual content where I've uploaded bloopers for my channel, bonus videos for my channel. What else have I uploaded? Hey, don't eat my laptop. Tommy. I've uploaded behind the scenes for my channel a little bit. And yeah, I've put up a ton of bonus content. There was a Mario Kart video I did with my dad that instead of putting up on my YouTube channel like I normally would, I put it up on the Patreon. However, you haven't had any videos go up yet because you don't make videos.
Nope.
So I'm making a video for you
to
go on the Patreon because it does, I feel, one, kind of bad, and two, it looks kind of weird that there's like 5 of my videos on the Patreon right now, but none of yours. It's not balanced at all.
I mean, to be fair, I don't contribute to this podcast.
Yeah.
You could replace me with Anthony next week and no one would notice.
I don't know about that. Anyways, we might end this podcast here soon because we have used up all of our topics, and I'm feeling good about ending it where we are. It's smart to end it on the Patreon topic, because it's fitting for this podcast. However, I also have a feeling that this podcast is going to be a little shorter than most because while we've been recording for a while, Bowser has interrupted a ton of this footage. So this may be our first 40-minute podcast. If so, apologies, but we'll be back next week with some more content. Thank you all for watching. Do you have anything else to say, Zach?
No.
Oh, okay. You sounded so scared.
Nothing at all.
Why were you so sad there?
I'm terrified of you.
You got a little bit of snot dripping down.
I'm aware of it, and I'm trying to get rid of it without interrupting.
There's a little drip of snot.
Just trying to get rid of it without interrupting.
A little drop of snot.
Just trying to not interrupt with it.
It's on the tip of your nose.